2018 Festival of the Arts begins next week. We're days away, and these two have been feverishly working behind the scenes and in front of the scenes and all over the scenes, creating the scenes of the upcoming festival. It's great to see you guys. It's Molly McBride and Paul Tyler, the two co-chairs this year. Great to see you guys.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Well, I've enjoyed the pre-conversation that we've had here. Molly, I learned about you. Your dad was a co-chair, or perhaps solo chair, back in 1991.
Co-chair in 1991. So he
okay.
was one of the co-chairs of the 25th Festival of the Arts. This year will be the 52nd. And so when people ask how I got involved, I say I kind of grew up down here, which is true. You know, you let a kid ride around on a golf cart through downtown Oklahoma City, distributing ice and eating strawberries Newport, and you've got to volunteer for life.
I saw Lindsay Pendleton, who's sitting behind the scenes, taking care of some social media stuff right now. On a forklift, maybe? Is that part of the fun of being a co-chair? Is you're like, give me a hard hat and the keys, I've got that.
That's my absolute favorite part of the festival, is putting it all together. It's like putting together a party for 500,000–600,000 people. It's a blast.
Of your closest friends in the community, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, there's a whole group of volunteers called the production team, and they physically put festival together. And at the new location over at Bicentennial Park, that means we string 10,000 feet of aerial electric wires. We bring in 120 tons of steel, and also put in 10,000 square feet of temporary flooring so that the grass in Bicentennial Park isn't damaged.
Ah, good thinking. Walk us through what we're seeing here. I think we walked down there yesterday to get some B-roll of what is actually already underway.
These are our drink tents. Some of our artist, not artist tents, but artist sales tents. Gotcha. Right there. Let's see, what are we looking at now? You're looking from across
City Hall.
Yeah, from City Hall out on there. We'll have a big drink tent there. That's a food row down there. I think that's our North Food Row.
Right.
Food row, and probably one of the stages at the end of that.
Yes. So it's a 6-day event, but it takes us 11 days just to put it together.
Does it really? And
then we are able to take it down in 5 days. We try to get the streets open as quickly as possible, but it's a tremendous undertaking. And those food tents that you just saw are going to be all new this year because we got a very generous grant from the Inasmuch Foundation.
Very nice.
So we're very thankful for them for their support of the event.
It's one of the things that people look forward to, is the various arts, the culinary arts, the visual arts, and the music, which I should throw your way. We have to see what the co-chair's favorite food.
Oh, sure. No, that's our #1 question. We get a lot of questions about the food each year.
Because you're the co-chair, we want to know. You're guiding our way as we go to the festival.
Exactly.
Like they probably tasted or had a
Everybody always wants to hear about food jury. So everything at festival that is participating in festival in any of the arts areas does need to jury in, which means that it has been pre-tested and pre-validated. And the food jury is a 4-night process.
We go Tuesday through Friday, 4 nights. And for example, this year, we have a new vendor this year, Fassler Hall, and they're going to bring a bratwurst. Yeah, and on their night, we had 5 different companies that brought those, and they all brought 3 or 4 different kinds. And when you're on the food jury, you get to taste all of that.
So it was a night of 1,000 sausages, which, you know, it's kind of terrifying. It was the first few bites were delicious, and you want to give everybody a fair shake, so you try everything. But it's a lot of fun, but it does quickly become painful. You really need to pre-train and maybe cleanse your body before and afterwards.
What does this taste like? Well, it tastes like a bratwurst.
It does. It does. But we are thrilled to have Fassler Hall.
Yes.
And then another new vendor this year is Metro Minis, which is there's a couple of different food carts that do, or food trucks that have been doing mini donuts, gourmet mini donuts.
I was about to say, that sounds like a food truck.
And Metro Minis has been a food truck, but they actually opened a brick and mortar location in Bethany earlier this year. So they're coming out, they're doing their traditional like sweet donuts like you think about, but they're bringing like a pulled pork donut and a maple bacon donut concoction.
Now, I've heard of maple bacon donuts, but a pulled pork donut.
Donut with pulled pork, so you'll have to come out and try it.
Interesting. It's like a sandwich, I'm guessing.
Well, I think
it's a little bitty donut, just like this, with a pork on top of it.
How bad could that be?
No, exactly. Exactly.
All right, so we mentioned the culinary side of things. Your featured artist this year, I believe we have a sample behind us on the logo there, Joy Richardson.
Joy Richardson, she's a local artist. She's been at festival for the last 10 years. We asked her at the end of the festival last year if she'd be our featured artist this year, and she's done a fabulous job. So,
what sort of artwork does she bring to the table?
She is an abstract artist, and one of the things that we really love about Joy is the way that she works with color. And we have not had, the featured artists, what they do is they create a commissioned piece that then is purchased by the Arts Council and is in their permanent art collection.
Okay.
And then that featured piece is used for, pieces of it are extracted for promotional materials and then promotional posters that go to our donors and our volunteers. And we loved it being very colorful and very exciting and also abstract, because that's kind of what festival feels like in the city. It's this explosion of spring that everyone appreciates, and everyone kind of brings their own items that they love to festival to the table, just like they would with an abstract piece. They take away something that they bring to it.
Well said.
Yeah.
Talking with Paul Tyler and Molly McBride, the two co-chairs of the 2018 Festival of the Arts. You can find more information on the website, artscouncilokc.com. And go from there. Again, the Arts Festival, the 24th through the 29th of April, Bicentennial Park's the third year to be outside Civic Senior Music Hall and City Hall. Tell me about the T-shirt booth. This is something new.
T-shirt booth, we started, it is new this year. We're going to do on-site screen printing this year.
Seems like a great idea.
Yeah, it's going to be really neat. So folks that don't know how they get made, they'll be able to witness that, and then they can pick what they want, the color they want, and a shirt that they want, and then we'll print them up for them.
Yeah, we're very excited. The Oklahoma Shirt Company is coming out and doing that for us. And one of the things that I love is seeing how different entrepreneurs in the Oklahoma City scene take the art and translate it into, we have an explosion of great Thunder shirts that people see out there, or just local entrepreneurs that are making things. And so it's great to have one of those on site, creating it right where you can see it.
That's a cool idea, and that's well said. Hey, here's my artwork. What if this artwork was on a T-shirt or something like that? Two other things we should talk about. Parking's plenty of parking, despite all the shenanigans of construction around downtown Oklahoma City. But any recommended parking? I know there's that parking garage directly to the south.
Yes, just to the south, and that's where I park. And then we have surface parking around there also. There's
the Bob Howard lots down on Reno will have free shuttle service from those locations. So those are paid parking lots, but once you get there, if you just don't want to kind of navigate the part of downtown that you're less familiar with, you can get right down there. It's just down from the Chesapeake Arena. Is it still called the Chesapeake Arena?
It is.
Great.
Yes.
It's just down the street from the Chesapeake Arena, and if you can get there, then we can get you there on the shuttle.
We should also mention there's the festival map that can be found on their website, which includes all sorts of booth information, food information, and parking information. Speaking of that parking garage directly south of Bicentennial Park, I was covering something in one of the pocket parks downtown last week, and I thought, well, hey, I'll just go up top of that parking garage, shoot down, get kind of an aerial, right? Didn't realize it was 10 or 11 floors.
Oh,
it's
right.
a big one.
8 floors up. I'm like, I really should have taken the elevator.
Right.
There was no reason to take the
no,
stairs.
it's a well-priced garage. It's the closest location that you can get to the festival itself, and there is a lot of room in there. I mean, it's possible for it to fill up, but I haven't experienced that yet, where I've been able to try to get in and haven't been able to get in, and that's the Arts District parking garage.
Well said. Volunteers. You guys still looking for volunteers? And how can people volunteer?
We're in pretty good shape as far as volunteers, but we could use a few more. And what's the best way for them to get in touch with us?
Well, if they go to artscouncilokc.com, there is a link there for festival and then a link for volunteering at festival. And one thing that I always think people forget about, because festival is such a long-running flagship Oklahoma City event, and it feels like a party for the city, and you see everyone you know, and everybody comes out for it, they forget that it's a fundraiser. And what it is it provides a lot of the operating budget for the Arts Council of Oklahoma City for the entire year, which is why we rely so much on community support and volunteers. When our artists come from all over the country to participate in festival, they are shocked by just kind of the spirit of Oklahoma City and the level of volunteer commitment that we have for people to come out. And the event itself is organized where volunteers are doing everything. They're selling T-shirts, they're physically putting up the event, they work the stages, they sell beer, they can do just about anything. So if you're at all interested in getting involved, you can head to the website and find a great spot for you.
And if you happen to be at the Festival of the Arts on Saturday, among the demos, a culinary demo by our friend Chef John Bennett.
Yes. He's coming at 12 o'clock, and he has a couple of folks that are going to help him that are famous in their own right around here, and it ought to be a pretty neat deal. He's It's coming at 12 o'clock on Saturday.
John Bennett, just kind of like festival, is one of like the elder statesmen of the Oklahoma City art scene that's had such a tremendous resurgence in the past few years. John Bennett really kind of is the elder statesman of the Oklahoma City food scene, which we all know is fantastic right now. And he worked with both James Beard and Julia Child. So we are thrilled to have him doing a demo in the culinary booth at Festival.
Yeah, that'll be good stuff. He's always just good to hear from his stories, or how he kind of jabs his colleagues on stage. That'll be fun to watch. Watch the banter, if nothing else. Paul, what do you do?
In my real life, I do home loans. I work with a company called Cornerstone Home Lending.
Gotcha.
We're in North Oklahoma City, and that's what I do most of the time.
And how did you get involved with the Arts Council?
In 2001, a friend of mine asked me if I'd volunteer in a beer tent, and so I was all in for that. And so I came down that first year. I was having a good time, and I just volunteered a little bit more each year, and finally we got to here.
That's how it starts, people. Just one day in a beer tent. Next thing you're going to be the co-chair. And Molly, how did you get involved with the festival?
Well, like I said, I kind of grew up down there, so I loved running around there as a child. And then when I was home from college, after I graduated, I started getting more involved on the committee level and the organizational level, and just never really stopped.
We should mention you have a couple kiddos.
Yes, yeah, I have a business background, but I have 3.5-year-old twins. So, I would rather be doing mortgage loans. They're very, very cute, but they're a lot of work in their own right.
You also mentioned you have an 8-year-old, and she wants to co-chair this someday herself.
She is already talking about she wants to be the first third-generation Festival of the Arts co-chair.
That's awesome.
And, we can't put her on a committee yet, but she's been out there rolling water barrels for at least 3 days of production. So she's getting a pretty good head start.
It's good stuff. Paul and Molly, you can see them at the Festival of the Arts, 2018 Festival of the Arts, again, April 24th through the 29th at Bicentennial Park. Guys, congratulations on everything, because I know a lot of hard work goes into this, a lot of planning, a lot of effort. So congrats on all that, and best of luck with the festival this year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for
We
having us.
love it very much.